There are different ways to develop a strategy. You could start with a sound analysis of stakeholder attitudes and expectations, and then follow up with what goals do we want to achieve and how do we measure them. The other way would be to start with an aspiration. So what is a long-term, big, hairy and audacious goal? So what is worthwhile changing the world? So if you got that, you start with the aspiration, and then followed by that you define what the basis of all that is, or start your analysis. So it's kind of two ways, starting with vision or long-term aspiration, or start with the basic analysis of the status quo.
First of all, I think it's important that you think about the goals that you want to achieve with your internal communication campaign before you launch it. Second is also that you need to know, or that you need to get a feeling for what is actually the target group and what kind of background information do they have, where do they stand. So if you combine in the two, that you know what your goal is and that you know who your target group is and how they are maybe already into the topic or not, then you can also decide what kind of messages do you want to bring across and how would you like to make sure that they also stick to them. Maybe you also need to repeat them after some time. And then also what is important when you know the messages, that you also think about how can you best bring them across. So what could be the right channels? And I'm always a fan of a multi-channel strategy, so that especially when you have then the messages in place, that you not just bring them across via video. We do them normally also on our screensavers. We have so-called magic screens. These are like the screens in the production area. And so that we can also make sure that people have always different touch points with it and see the messages all the time, and so that you can also then in the end come back to your goal and hopefully also achieve what you wanted to achieve with your communication campaign or strategy.